What's up with you know who, KK. She is taking me to my procedure appointment. So I am getting a procedure called HSG done today to check and see if my fallopian tubes are open, because we have been trying to conceive and it has not worked so far. So this is one of the first steps that we have to take, me and Kevin, not me and KK.
No, definitely not.
Just make sure everything is good. So I'm gonna get this test done. Kevin has to have a semen analysis done, and we are in Dallas getting it done with the fertility clinic. So I'm gonna go in and get it done. I'm nervous because I heard it's supposed to hurt like hell, and y'all know I am not good with pain whatsoever. So I'm gonna go in and I'll recap once I get back. What is up, beautiful people? Wanted to give you another quick update. I think the last update was we got our HSG done last week. Monday was me and Kevin's anniversary. Today's Wednesday. I was trying to be like, where we were trying to be present. So we weren't necessarily like recording updates, but on our anniversary, and I will insert a clip, we were at a fertility doctor. The one that we were going to go see in California, to kind of get her perspective. And essentially what happened during that visit was that I gave her all of my previous work, and then she did a transvaginal ultrasound on me, and this is actually the week that I'm supposed to ovulate, and she saw like 10 follicles on like one side and like one big one with some small ones around it on my left side, and she's like, okay, you're probably liable to ovulate on your left side like this month. And right now, in this very moment, the left side hurts, and I feel like I'm ovulating right now. But we've been baby dancing, so hopefully maybe this month we get pregnant, because like I said, people have said that after they did their HSG test, they just end up pregnant. So who knows? Maybe that's our story, maybe it's not. But either way, Kevin did blood work, I did blood work. He still has to go do his analysis test. And what else? She's gonna get the report of my HSG to look and see if they took pictures of the inside of my uterus. Like, they took some parts but not like the whole thing, and she wants to make sure if they didn't, to do the test with her so that they can make sure that there's no scar tissue or anything like stopping. Obviously my tubes are open, so like everything can kind of flow, but she wants to make sure that my uterus is like sound, so that when the embryo drops in there, it's able to like actually grow and not just go in there and not stick. She wants the baby to stick. We need a sticky baby, or sticky embryo, sticky baby. You get the point. We need it to stick. So we might have to do that test. And then we'll get all our blood work. She's doing various things on me and a few on Kevin. So hopefully we'll get that back later this week. They'll also be able to go through financing with us to know, what our insurance covers. And like I told you, the doctor in Dallas, they covered a lot, or a decent amount. I go say a lot. They covered a decent amount, more than what we was anticipating. Of course, like when you go through this journey, you think they're not going to cover anything, pretty much. So curious to see what they cover here in California, because she wants us to be able to really think through, like, okay, well, depending on what Kevin tests say and the rest of our blood tests say, like, do we go IUI? And IUI is such like a low percentage to be able to like work. Like, I think the percentage is like 10 to 20%, like that'll actually work. And I've watched so many TikToks of girls and partners, families, couples, whatever, that are on like their third IUI, and she's like, depending upon what your coverage is, she was like, y'all can decide, okay, like we get X amount. I'm just using crazy numbers right now, but let's say our insurance gives us 20,000 or something, or 10,000 for that matter, and let's say IVF is 30,000, and she's like, depending on y'all timeline, like, do you want to have up to 2 rounds of IUI, and they God willingly work, but if not, they fail, and then you're talking or discussing IVF, and then at the IVF stage, like you have nothing left, like so it's out of pocket? Or would you rather say, hey, for example, we get $20,000, like we just go straight to IVF and just pay whatever's left, which, you know, I think typical IVF I've seen from different women, and of course these are women who are spread all around the country, have ranged from like 30 to 40,000. I've seen some go as high as 60,000. But the point is that we would have to figure out what that delta number is. Are we willing to do that? Timeline, all that. Obviously, we want to be pregnant as soon as we can, but it all has to make sense. We're still trying to do a lot of things. So we have to make sure everything makes sense in time, and of course, everything is on God's will, no matter what we decide to do. But I'm feeling hopeful. Both doctors actually know each other. They actually went to school with each other. Hi, puppy. So it makes me feel good that the communication between both doctors will be good. So now it's just kind of like wait until the end of this week, get the test results. Kevin does his other test, get those test results, and then we'll sit down with the doctor, and then we'll decide what's next. Is it IUI? Is it IVF? Like, what is the next step? So that's where we are, you guys. But happy that we are now in our third year marriage. Had fun in San Diego, all that stuff. But it's like wild. Like last year, first year of our marriage, we were, dealing with the passing of my grandmother, and like, finding a way to celebrate, which we went to the Thompson downtown in Dallas and celebrated there. Still had a good time. And this year we were at the IVF doctor. IVF, well, we were at the fertility clinic on the day of our anniversary, and they were like, oh my god, how long have you been married? And we were like, today is 2 years. They were like, today? And we're like, yeah, y'all said the appointment, somebody canceled so we can get in sooner, and that is what we did. So yeah, you guys, that is the update. I will update you again once we figure out what the next step is. Is the next step IVF? Is it IUI? Is it the next few months we just keep trying naturally? I don't know what that is, but regardless, we are open to whatever God gives us the ability to do, and obviously his will. But also, you guys, I'm actually really happy about a couple things, and I need to preface this before I jump off of here. Number one, I'm happy my tubes are open. Thank you, Jesus. Both of my tubes are open. And I'll insert maybe a picture of what it looks like with the dye going on both sides. That's what that is. And then I'm very grateful that your girl has follicles without the men stimulated. So if you don't know, when you go through the IUI or IVF journey, if you do a medicated IUI, you use medicines to stimulate the follicle so it gets big enough to create an embryo once everything meets together. And same with IVF. But y'all, I had a whole bunch of follicles. And tomorrow I'll know for sure if I ovulated, because I used the Anito test to test my hormones the week that I'm supposed to ovulate. And it looks like I might get proven ovulation tomorrow, but we'll see. But yeah, you guys, I'm happy about that. Tubes are open. I am stimulating follicles. So yeah, those are like the silver linings in the results so far. And yeah, let's see what the results say this week, and what's next steps.